I have an issue with the word Japa. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wholesome Conversations with Julie and Toby. So today we want to talk about something that is whether use the word prevalent or is what is going on around now.
It's a major thing.
Especially if you're from
the developing
countries generally.
Yeah.
And that's the Japa culture.
Mm-hmm. And of course, for Nigerians, you understand it more.
I think because it's
more
the language.
Yeah, it's
Japa.
more of relocation and
Japa, yeah.
moving out.
Means to move out.
For those people that are not Nigerians.
For those that are not Nigerians, Japa means to move out. The Japas, as somebody said. Relocating to emigrate. To emigrate. So we want to talk about the Japa culture, and let's start with you, Toby. Like, what do you feel about this whole Japa everywhere?
It's a two-way thing. I feel for humans generally, there is a point whereby you want something good for yourself. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants a sense of security. So, and when we are talking about security, it's not necessarily guarding yourself from terrorists and all that. Attacks. It's not even that. Yeah. Security, like food security and shelter and everything, basic things.
Your sanity.
And when you think you can get it from another environment, what comes to mind is you don't even think about any other thing, like the process or you just want the good life for yourself. So I won't say it's totally bad because, in fact, we are here because of the Japa thing.
So we are Japarians.
And then you even have a channel supporting Japa.
So I'm pro Japa. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's it. So, yeah,
I'll surprise you with my view, Toby.
I won't say it's bad, sure, but I still have my reservations when it comes to it.
Japa. I think like this topic is a very sensitive topic. If you notice from my, by the way, we both have channels. I have SMI Hope Canada, where I talk about everything, studying and immigrating to Canada. So I give information. Yes, guys. We have it linked in the description box. So just click on it and check it out. And he has
clustered notes where we just talk about life issues and opinions, hearing things from people.
Yes. So I like, you know what? Let me just say, like, I have an issue with the word Japa, with the Japa, that word, or that Japa meant the whole thing. The reason why I have issue with Japa is because it's not just a word, it's a mindset. And that's why I have issue with it.
But do you think everyone in that category is thinking that way? Because now it's some people. Maybe the person that started based on that mindset.
Is it Yoruba or is it word?
Japa. You're trying to escape.
Okay.
So
that's why I have an issue with it. So I have an issue with Japa because literally it means to escape. And I think you guys will need to hear me out. So I want to first make 3 points. The first thing is I reflected a lot about this up and down, and I wanted to be sure I'm not talking from a place of privilege, because as he said, like when human beings don't have, and this is not, we are not dissing at any place, but this is just generally speaking now, when human beings don't have access to basic amenities and you kind of lifestyle, then it's just natural. As a matter of fact, like as I said, I don't like the word Japa. So emigration has been since like in the 1970s, Ireland, people emigrated massively out of Ireland.
Even if we are to go into the scriptures, Abraham
emigrated, like he was even told by God to emigrate.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I have nothing, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm an immigrant too. I'm an immigrant in Canada. So I emigrated from somewhere to Canada. So I am pro emigration if you want to, But I am against Japa because it's a mindset, as I said. It's when a person talks about Japa, it creates a haste mindset. It creates a frantic decision kind of mindset. So people don't think like some people do. Then they also Japa, But people don't think well, long and hard before they make decisions. They are doing, because they are doing it in a haste, they are doing it in desperation, they are doing it in whatever. So let me give myself as an example. That word desperation is very important, because there was a time in my life I was desperate because I wanted to emigrate. Yeah, so that word, I relate to it so much. For a year, and the reasons were, the first one, my major reason was because I'm in academia, like, so I did my master's, back home. I didn't like the quality of the research, so I went for a 3-month stint in Europe, and then I came back, and then I compared what I did. And so I was desperate for a quality, like a PhD program.
But is it wrong to be desperate? Because I've heard, like, be desperate for a change or something like that. Like, if you really want to see a change happen, then you need to be desperate.
No, I don't think that's why I'm talking about desperation now. Like, when they say desperate for a change, maybe it's contextual, because I feel like being desperate is not a good place to be. And I can say over, because I was at that time. And I had to call myself back. When I got to that point of desperation, I saw I was desperate. And then I had to stop anything abroad. I stopped it. I took a step back for like months, because I was always contacting professors, right? And I decided, you know what, I'm going to work with what I have right here. Like, I will go and start applying to universities here at home. Like, if this is what I want to do, let me do it at home. Maybe it's not just going to work for me. I had to step back for that desperation, because I knew the way I was going, I probably will not make a good decision. And that's just what I'm trying to say here with Japa. Like, there are people that have just plucked, they just take the low-hanging fruit because they want to travel abroad. Let me give you an example. Like, in my case, I didn't have the money. This is wholesome conversations. We are real, we are factual here. I didn't have the money to travel abroad, so I had to do it by scholarship, like to go for my education or whatever. And to me, it was like, not only going to get a good education, but also emigrating. So I was like, I was killing two birds with a stone with my family, right? And I was coming with family. So there was absolutely no money to carry that kind of thing. So for me, I had to like take the long way, always, emailing to get where I could do my PhD. But for someone else that has the money, when they get infected with the japa, they don't even, because they have the money, right? They just choose something. They don't even take a pause and look at the country, look at the program. We will still talk about, I have a lot to say about this, Japa. And if you see, I'm very passionate about relocating, but thoughtfully and doing it right, so that you will gain,
because
the benefits.
I think I understand your point, and that is one thing we should get here. And the beauty of it is, you having a channel that even supports it, says it
for
all.
Sure. So you know that definitely.
And I watched your video on Canada equals to code or something like that. So, and one thing I noticed that you said was, you weren't talking about don't come or anything. No. It was like, you need to be prepared for it. So for sure. The beauty of this is, I understand the position of East, because Nigerians are always, or even people generally,
I think people that especially
especially when you feel like you are at a disadvantage. So you're just in a hurry to, okay, let me just move anywhere. And I've seen people like that, move anywhere at any cost. And then you move there. One thing I've noticed is, not everyone here too is doing well. Not everyone in different countries are actually doing well. Even there was a day, and I think it's still the mentality, there was a day I was in the car and a beggar came around. I was on a call with someone in Nigeria, and I mentioned it that, all these beggars sometimes. And the question the person asks is, are there beggars in Canada? So it's more like, when you see,
but are,
that's what, of course, that one was. So, but when you have a particular mindset, and then you just think everything is right without even doing your proper research, so it's really a problem from that angle. So you get it, and I've heard people talk about different countries. You even think like, why are you thinking of going into these countries? You haven't even done your research. So that's the problem with East, and just like you mentioned, which I see young people, or even people generally go through these days. So, but I'm just thinking, how long is too long to think about it? Or because I can wake up today and say that, I've seen people say that even the Lord is telling them, using it in to move out of the country, and they just woke up today and then they're making the decisions. They start working on it. Like, how long is too long? Can't I just wake up today and say I'm tired of this environment? Maybe I'm tired of Canada. I'm tired of the cold, and then
You just want to move to the US or maybe
yeah,
move to
somewhere
Europe.
else.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easier when you don't have the money, because you really have to look for what you can, what, and then you get there, you are not stranded because you have something like maybe a scholarship or a funding. When you have the money, that's when it's easier to make mistakes by saying I want to japa. After all, I have the money, and some have it as assets, but then they liquefy it, they sell it off, and then they take this. I feel like the length of time is as long as you've done your research. Like, what, whether good or bad, know what you are coming to. Like, I knew Canada was cold, and I remember I watched a lot of videos. I read, okay, I didn't even have the data. So, but I read a lot. I remember I would read Nairaland from back to back.
Nairaland really helped.
Nairaland was really helpful. Like, I had people, and I would read Reddit. Reddit is also one place that I help, because I like places where people talk, not blogs where somebody might, I'm not dissing any blogger, but somebody might just post something that might even be sponsored. But Reddit, Nairaland, they are my go-to for if I want to research about real life stuff, because real people are talking. And the point is, as long as you've done your research, because I have seen people that, for instance, people that have a first class, I know someone that had a first class, that because he decided he was just going to raise money, not like he had the money, but he could raise the money. There's a difference between not even having the money and not even be able to raise it. Like someone was saying, where will you raise it when you don't even have the thing to sell? Yeah, but having the money, knowing that you can your mom can help you borrow something, your sister can help you borrow something, is different, right? So this person did all of this, but this person could have been patient and have gotten a fully funded, and that's why this is my channel I do, because some people don't even know they can do it. They didn't research about it at all. They just wanted to live. So they took the low-hanging fruit, started paying for something that people that are not even half as good as them in that country they are going are getting funded for. That's an example. Other examples is going to a country that probably does not even want immigrants. They don't have the things in place to give you something after you're done schooling or whatever, to have maybe like a kind of work permit, for instance, or maybe they just have a short time for you to look for it. So it's not immigrant friendly, or going to places where you cannot cope. Like, there are some places that are maybe extremely cold. Someone that does not like cold and gets sick a lot, it's not going to be a good fit, and this is apart from like the spiritual side. Like, of course, I know each person has their own, like, personally for me, I'm a person of faith, so I can't do things without being led. So I think it's also good to cover that area, because that's the major thing. And then if you're led by God, you also have to do your research. Because even if you are led by God, I don't think it means that you won't go through a lot. Like, I went through a lot, because immigration is in phases. You go through the happy phase, and then you go to the reality phase. And we see people popping out on YouTube talking about, is Canada worth it? Is the US worth it? Is it what is cooling in the UK? They've moved past the honeymoon phase. They're in the reality check phase.
And there are a lot of, would I say, people put out what people want to hear.
Yeah.
Now, the truth is, I can be in debt of so amount. I won't talk about that. It's so hard to see people struggling come online to say that I'm struggling, I'm not necessarily doing
it's
well.
Hard to
even
see people
even these days, people that are vulnerable these days, I'm not saying all, but at least a sizable number of people that are even vulnerable online just think that this can also gain traction.
Yeah, it's
not
just
necessarily
about clickbait.
Not necessarily because they want to do it. So that's just what I feel, and that's my basic opinion. But
and that's why wholesome conversation is different. Because
exactly.
Honestly, we just say as it is, like as our opinion, the way we feel.
Yeah. So looking at all that means like it might not be totally rosy where you feel you're going to. So it comes with thoughtfulness, just like you've mentioned. And one thing I've realized when we're talking about being thoughtful about a decision is you look at it holistically. Like, this decision I'm making, is it the best for me? I've always said it. I'll always be glad that I traveled out, because looking at where I am today, I doubt if I might be on this same pedestal, just looking at my own personality. But someone could have even started the way I was back in Nigeria and even be better than who I am
Right
today,
now,
right
and
now,
right there
and
at
still
home.
in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, now if the person feels like because I've traveled out,
Mm.
he also needs to travel out. So
It might not even be good for that
it
person.
might not be good. So what I'm saying is, sit down and think about it, just like you said. Be thoughtful. Is this decision the best decision for me?
Right.
Are there some opportunities I can explore? Some
Yeah.
people are more of entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Dangote could be here and then it will be, and of course, Dangote, I don't know if he's still the Africa's richest man. So if you don't know who Dangote is.
I've not checked
So,
in like years.
yeah, but I think the last time I checked, maybe a few months ago, it was still there. So I'm not so sure, but at least he's the richest man in Nigeria. So Dangote could be, have traveled out to the US or Canada and still do well naturally, but it would not be who he is presently, because he might even just get a job and then go for 9 to 5 or something. There's nothing bad in that. That's the reason for saying being thoughtful and know the process. Just like I also have that kind of job, and that's not saying it's bad. That's what I do. But I'm saying that if Dangote puts himself in that same situation, it might not function perfectly. So if you think about it and look at what is good for you, which is in line with what you're talking about. So.
And I think you see the reason why I said I have issue with Japa, because many people that just pick it up because it's common, it's everywhere. Many people that pick it up just run with it blindly, saying, "Oh, I have to leave, I have to escape," and it brings me to the question, like, do you think like making it as an immigrant now? I don't want to just use a country because it can be anywhere. As an immigrant, do you think it is as like, do you escape to make it as an immigrant, or is it inherent? Like, is this something that lies within you, or is it something that you escape to do, like being prosperous? Because I think that's the whole concept of Japa. Do you escape to become prosperous?
I think I will look at it in two ways. You can escape to live a good life, but not maybe exceptional. And most people, see, I heard someone say this. Most people in Nigeria, they're not even looking for
they just want to
the
live a
best
good
life. They just want to, because for a lot of people in Nigeria, if you can provide them a job that pays, they don't even need the whole money, just
enough to eat.
The kind of system here that pays enough to pay mortgage, and banks are now giving out mortgage. They can also get a car without paying it off. Those
without
systems
paying it up at once.
And then the salary still covers for that, and then they are good.
They are good per month.
This set of people that we are talking about, they are not prosperous set, like excessively wealthy. They're just set of people that are
Just want
living
to be okay.
the basic things. A lot of people will not still leave Nigeria, and I feel a lot of countries, since they get the basic things they have. So most people that even have the Japa mentality are not necessarily looking for the best of the best of the best. They just want something good for themselves, and let me be able to afford the basic amenities. So that's one thing I just feel. But usually over time, maybe you get over the stress and everything, because once you're just coming in and you've not made your research, you've not lined up things, it might be hard.
For sure.
And okay, maybe because of Canada that even favors immigrants, because
I can imagine a place that is not immigrant friendly.
I've heard of places where you don't even have a residency or anything, then you're still there. And that kind of life, you cannot get an official job, like a real job. You just have to, and then you're like, it's a lot of stress on its own and all that. And I've heard of people that even came out online or through social media talking about their experience, and you know that it was really a terrible experience in some of the countries we want to travel to. So that means like they also had bad experiences, and there are also bad situations there. It's not always like the way people paint it. Like once you're out, I get that problem too from my own side. A lot of people,
but some people really think that that's the case. And once you are you're out. I know people say that you once you're abroad, don't think everywhere is lined with money, lined with gold. And I feel like it's wrong for people to say that. I know I always have contrary opinions. I think it's wrong for people to come online and start saying, hey, Nigerians, please do, when I'm abroad, don't think that we take money on trees. Don't think. I think people should view immigration with compassion and try to remember when they were there. At a point, I'm not saying everyone in Nigeria is a very rich and prosperous country. People are making millions in that place.
A lot of people.
So I'm just saying, like, for like the bulk, is it middle class? And like, it's a place where the middle class is not prosperous, or is it maybe middle class is even too high? Like maybe the lower class or something would be more appropriate. Anyway, I think it's important for people to view immigration with compassion and know that people emigrate because of various reasons. As Toby said, it might not necessarily be because they want to be wealthy or something. I know there are some people that emigrate just because they feel like it looks better, maybe in pictures. They just don't have that deep. But even people that have thoughtfully thought about it, maybe they're just frustrated. They just want to have. Some people can't even raise 2 children. Like, salary is gone by half of the month, and if they see this opportunity, they just want to go. So when people come online to start saying, don't start asking me for this. I know it happens, and it could be because they're also frustrated because people are always asking things.
I still feel like it's normal. People will always ask, even if you're in Nigeria,
you're doing well.
Yeah, if you're doing well in Nigeria, people will ask. So it's left to you to know how to draw the boundaries and what to do. Just know how to draw the boundaries. If you're good with helping, sometimes
help. Like, if you want to help. If you don't want to, don't.
Sometimes it's not even a lot. If you send someone $5,
it just makes a lot of difference. Yeah, that's one thing I've realized.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes it's not like I'm earning a lot. I'm just a student right now, but like, I send something and then the conversion rate, the exchange rate, it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, exactly. And the person will be grateful forever. And it's not like a lot from your own end. And some people are actually very entitled to.
That's also another story.
That's another thing to talk about.
I think what we can do, like, on the other side, is recognizing that we all have different level of privilege, and understanding your level of privilege, and just putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Be kind and know how you.
But seriously, why would people not even ask you when you want to post? You post your picture, you post good house, you post everything.
So they have a different story.
If I'm hungry, no way. I'll think of you like, this person is still doing well. Let me just reach out. Maybe the person is going to help.
Exactly. And it's important we also say that, like, we shouldn't view it like we are here to talk reality. As I said, it's just that the system works. It's not like people are prosperous. To be prosperous, you also need to break into it. There's a hard work culture here as well. And I know Nigerians work hard as well. So it's just sometimes they don't have opportunities. Although there's some people that don't work hard, but sometimes it's just lack of opportunities. So, but the point is, people work and then they earn and work and earn. And the time when you can make it is when what you earn is way more than the hours you put. So a person that works 40 hours and earns just $20, or maybe, I think that's even like maybe $15 per hour, is different for a person that earns $50 per hour.
But
it's
the
same number of hours.
Is still tax system too.
Yeah, the tax system. People always say that the tax system. But I feel that if you're earning a lot, like maybe say you're earning $60 per hour, even after tax, you still have a lot down.
But how many people are actually in that?
That's the point.
And the crazy thing about that is taxes for people earning $60 is way higher than those earning $15.
Yeah,
they can even cut it. There are some that pays up to 50% tax.
Yeah, but then what is left over is more than enough, because a person that earns $15 will still pay for those things that person will pay for. It's just that it's a different level. Like there is lifestyle creep. But the point is, that is what we're talking about. Do your research. Know the reality of what you're coming into, and some of the things that you can get away with. Like some people get away with. Some people are business entrepreneurs back home and they get away with tax and all of that. You can't get away with it here. So those things will factor in. You can't get away with, things like that. People always say things like a person that makes it big here could have as well made it big in Nigeria. Do you believe in that? Same.
Big as in, if we are really talking
like
about
a person that makes
big,
it big here.
Yeah, there is a possibility because it's not also easy to get into the system. Like there are a lot of factors, but it's still subjective anyways, because there are still some things that help, like grants and the systems. In fact, I was thinking of
little things as little as internet, as little as internet.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
247 Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Power supply and all.
Power supply, as basic as that.
I was just thinking about a business idea, and I was able to schedule a meeting, one-on-one meeting with one of the what's it called?
Just like that, easily.
And it was free, and they were ready to guide me. They told me about what I needed to do for registering a business and all that. I feel those little things too might be of great help. So the basic thing is, there are systems in place that helps you that helps you generally when you are trying to build something, which might not necessarily be in place in Nigeria. So it's a two-way thing when it comes to that. But I just think overall it's more of do your research. So just like what you said, it's not about flight, escape. You want to escape.
That's
okay. I need to relocate. What do I need to do? How can I actually, which countries actually favor even my craft, my kind of skills and everything.
And even as basic as what course am I going, for instance, if you're coming as a student, what course am I going to do? Is it marketable? Because I've heard people come and study tourism, something, and I'm like, girl, max you get like someone paying you 50K per year. Like you need to factor in that course. Like, is it marketable? And there are so many other marketable courses. So you come here and study African linguistics, I don't know. So you also have to, so these are the things I'm talking about, that a person that is rushing and like Japa might not even think about it. Like, let me just do this and go. And I understand some people try a particular country that they know is better for them, but they are not able to get in. And then they say, okay, let me just go to another one. And then just understand, if you have a desire for somewhere else, you could just be transiting. And sometimes the one that you think, as we say, that is not immigrant friendly, might be the best for you.
Exactly,
we've had people go to elsewhere that probably they don't have enough a system down for international students, but they end up getting their own, there. So,
and in fact, you can even go to an underdeveloped country, and still do well,
or stay back home and do well, or you can come abroad and still go back home. Who knows? Maybe some of us are going back home.
Exactly, just come here, make use of this.
Make use of this the whole thing. Learn, train, retrain, and then go back home to give back. Thank you
so much for
coming.
I hope that helped. So no one is necessarily saying you shouldn't Japa or you shouldn't relocate, because she hates the word Japa.
Because I hate the word Japa, because when people say Japa, they want to escape.
So let's use relocate, but at least do your research, do it well. And
as I said, it's about the mindset. So not the word per se. I hate it because of the mindset. So let's change that Japa mindset. Instead, let's have that thoughtful relocation mindset.
Is it not just
that's why someone else will say, is it not just semantics? Is it not just the word? That's why I said I hate it, because it has to do with the mindset. Like, Japa is not just a word, it's a culture, it's a mindset.
In a situation you might not even need to relocate, so it's all about like do it intentionally.
Intentional migration
and everything. So thank
you. Take care, guys, till the next time.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share if you've listened and you like it. So please subscribe.
You want more of this?
Share,
stay tuned.
Thank you. See you on the next video.
Bye bye, guys.